Have you ever wondered how you can transform a fixer-upper into a cash-flowing machine? Really excited to go through this property because we're implementing the BRRRR strategy: buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, and also the rent by the room strategy to make this a cash-flowing machine. Really excited to go through this. Let's go through the numbers, the home tour, and everything that we're learning along the way. Thanks to Ann Liu, the realtor and investor in Denver. Let's go check it out. What's up, guys? We're here in Westminster, not too far away from the 36 freeway. I actually love the location. H Mart, one of my favorite grocery stores, is not too far away. This is a great looking property, especially by location, but I want to make sure you guys are properly introduced to Ann. How's it going, Ann?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. So she's an investor, she's a realtor, and she just picked up this property and doing the BRRRR strategy and the rent by the room strategy. So before we get into those strategies, we got to hear how you even picked up this property, Ann. So if you don't mind, how did you even find this guy?
Yeah, so I am a realtor myself and an investor, and in doing that, I love networking with people. And I've been thinking about buying property for months. With a high interest rate, it's really tough to make a deal pencil, right? So knowing that and wanting to also buy a property, just getting started, I started talking to people, just letting people know what I'm looking for. And one day a deal just came to me and it just fits all the criteria I was looking for. And it was an off-market deal. I didn't need to compete with anyone. I closed within 30 days and it's been pretty smooth ever since.
Awesome. So right now, I mean, we're going to go through the property, but right now you have work going on in the bathrooms and the kitchens and all of the bedrooms and all that good stuff, right? So you guys are going to see everything of what's going on, all the different gears that are moving within this big old machine. And I guess, what did you purchase this property for? What was the purchase price?
The ask price was $600,000 and I got some seller concession from it. So it was some repairs that needed to be done, and that was about $7,000 in concession. And also there was a solar panel on the property. We couldn't transfer it just because I'm taking over as an investor. So we decided to just split the cost between me and the seller contributed $10,000 to it.
Awesome. And that's all part of the negotiation. I mean, having Ann as your realtor as well is pretty solid. I mean, she will definitely work for you in that regard. So I guess without further ado, and we could talk about all the ins and outs of the property while we go take a tour.
Come with us. All right, come with me. Hello. That's our contractor's dog. She's so cute. Okay, so here we are in the first room. This was originally an open space. I would say it was probably a family room. And with what I want to do, I want to create as many bedrooms as possible. So obviously this was a contender for that. So the work we did here are adding this wall, adding a closet here, and then adding a wall here with a door. And the other improvements include refinishing the hardwood floor and retexturizing and removing the popcorn ceiling in this room. So it's pretty straightforward in terms of what we did, but you can see just doing that was already a huge difference. And we can probably show a picture right now to show you what it was like before. So after we finish the ceiling, you can look up here, there's no light to be wired, and we didn't realize that until now. And the contractor told me that it's going to be $400 to wire that in to add a light. So I don't know yet if I should do that or not, because $400, that's about half a month rent. And is it worth it? Is it not? What do you think? All right, moving on. So let me show you the upstairs first. So all the stairs here have been refinished as well. And upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms. Let me show you the first one here. So pretty similar to downstairs, finish the hardwood floor, finish the wall. And then this was originally a built-in kind of shelving area, and it just looked old and it didn't take much of it. So we decided to get rid of it. And on this side was the original closet. This is what kind of the room looked like before, just old yellow brown. And then we decided to just repaint it into white to make it look better. And for the door here, because the bedroom doors are facing outside, we kind of want a more refined look. So we are gonna change these into new doors instead of painting. Okay, and now the second bedroom here, the second floor. Again, there was originally a built-in shelf here that extends kind of all the way to here, and it was just obvious to get rid of it to make the room a little bigger for the tenant. All right, I guess we didn't mention the rent. So this room, as you can tell, is on the smaller side. So what I was planning is about $850 for this room. And back to this room, the first room I showed you on the second floor, this is way bigger. And usually a big room like this go for a little over $1,000. So that's what I'm going to charge. And the one downstairs that you saw, that's the exact same size as this one. So also $1,000. All right, follow me. This is going to be a bathroom shared between the two tenants in the rooms that you just saw. So there's no light here, so it's going to be a little dark, but what we are going to do is new vanity, new toilet, new mirror, just to lighten this place up. All right, moving on to the master bedroom. This would obviously be the most expensive room in the house, and it's actually already rented during construction. Someone just loved it, they wanted it, and they also want the garage, which I'll show you later. So this room, a master typically goes for like $1,100 or $1,200 in the Westminster area. And this one has an ensuite. The new vanity has already been put in, which looks nice. And I'm keeping the shower here. We're gonna just clean this up so it'll look a little newer. Okay. The reason why I bought this house is even though this house is a 3,000 square feet house and I'm cramming in 8 beds in it, it doesn't feel cramped at all because of the layout. So let's see, on the second floor, there are 3 bedrooms here. Looking down, you can see a nice big open space for people to kind of enjoy their time. And then there are 2 bedrooms on the first floor and then 3 bedrooms in the basement. So that's 8 bedrooms. But as you walk through me, you see that it really doesn't feel crowded. All right, so here's the large open area we were talking about. This will be a nice living room area. With it being a one-bedroom style, I am going to furnish it with good couches, a nice carpet, and put some paintings probably here over the mantle, just creating a nice space for people to hang out. And then over here, this will be the dining area. I'll supply a table, a couple of chairs for people to dine at. Moving to here, this is the kitchen. So we are gonna completely just revamp it. It's already, the new cabinets have already been put in. Before it was really old, brown and sticky cabinets. I thought about painting them, but then it really wouldn't increase the long-term value for it. So we decided to completely demo everything, put in new cabinets and put in quartz countertop or granite. Yeah, and actually I can show you right here, we are looking at a couple of different samples here, and we're gonna have a countertop person come in to give me some pricing, and we're gonna choose one.
Do you have a preference?
The cheaper the better, but it has to look good too. So I'm thinking probably, yeah, I think, let me show you. These all look pretty good, right? And I would say this is probably older style. And if the pricing between this one and the other ones are close enough, I would just go for a better one. So this ceiling is pretty low, if you can tell. Maybe not on camera.
Maybe 7 feet, yeah.
Yeah, it is behind the camera. Yep, it's really low. And we thought about raising it, and we also thought about knocking this wall down. We actually knocked half of it down when we realized there were pipes inside. There was an air vent, there was a sewer line, and for a higher end flip, I will probably try to knock it down, but for this one, the cost to do is way too high, so we decided to just patch it back up. Yeah, that was the one thing that we wanted to do, but we couldn't, and it made total sense for BRRRR Strategy and rent by the room. All right, this is that second bedroom on the first floor. This one's really straightforward, pretty much cosmetic in terms of what upgrade we did. Hardwood, new paint, removing the ceiling. Yep, and this one I will be renting for about $900. Okay. So this was a big bonus for me when I bought the house. It was originally a 3-bedroom, if you look at kind of the record of what the house was before. And the previous owner actually added a bathroom here. And it looked very nice. I don't need to do anything to it. And it saves me $10,000 to get a whole new bathroom. Okay, so nice shower here. And he added a washer dryer right here too for the tenants to share. All right, last but not least, this is actually where most of the action happened. So let's come to the basement. This is the first bedroom in the basement. So this is where a lot of construction happened. Originally, the bedroom had exposed foundation walls. It was a bedroom, but it really wasn't. So what we did here was almost everything, starting from adding an egress window. So it was originally really tiny, and to make it into a legal bedroom, you want an egress window. And typically these cost anywhere between $4,000 to $6,000, and it was just necessary to do. So I put it in. And besides that, definitely adding insulation and drywall to make it into a bedroom. And if you look over here, I also added a closet. So again, a closet is also something very important if you want to make it into a legal bedroom. So a window and a closet will make a room into a bedroom. Moving on, this is the common area for the basement. It really looked completely different before. So before, the walls had really nasty texture and we just really didn't like it. So we retexturized the whole space, and these panels used to be brown and we repainted it, and you can see how much nicer it already looks. And there used to be baseboard heating too, but the house did have central AC and furnace, so we didn't know why there was one, and we got rid of it. Hopefully we didn't make a mistake. Yep. And this area looked different too. There used to be a huge bar area, so it was like this high and then it kind of wraps around this entire kitchen space. I debated a lot between painting it or what, and then after consulting a very experienced investor, she told me just get rid of it would be the best path forward. So now you can see how open it is, and we're probably just gonna put a IKEA kitchen island right here, and that would be very functional. And this is a kitchenette. It's something that's really nice to have for a rent-by-the-room situation. If you have multiple tenants, some people can go upstairs and cook, and the people living downstairs, they can still have access to a sink. And I'm also going to put a microwave and an air fryer here for them to use.
With 8 bedrooms, right, you have a lot of people in there. So what's a certain ratio where you might think like, okay, now we need 2 kitchens, right? Is it from 5 to 6 bedrooms, or is it like 8 bedrooms is okay, like 8 bedrooms you definitely need 2? Like at what point do you feel like, okay, 6 bedrooms or maybe even 5 bedrooms is too many bedrooms for just 1 kitchen?
I would probably say when you have over 6 bedrooms, you need to consider having an additional kitchen. But a lot of people who rent rooms, they don't care about cooking. So some people are actually okay with not having that kitchen area. So what I would recommend is usually when you look for houses to buy, just look for houses already having a kitchen or a kitchenette downstairs, because you probably don't have to have 2 kitchens for this many people. It's a nice to have. Our amazing contractor, David. Yeah, he's working on the electricals right now. It's amazing. Yeah.
Going around trying to figure out what's live, what's not live, what's needed and what's not needed.
Good.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna just quickly talk about this room since there's no lighting. This was all unfinished basement, and we're gonna put a picture somewhere too to show you. But there was just exposed foundation wall. We added insulation, drywall, and we kept this unfinished because it's really not necessary. But the one thing that we did was we run an extra water line to put here for the extra washer and dryer, and that's gonna be really nice when you have 8 tenants. You don't want 8 tenants fighting over one set of washer and dryer. Alright, so this is the second bedroom here in the basement. We pretty much did everything we need to make it into a bedroom here. So why don't we start from the bottom? Right here you can see the exposed foundation, and you can see that this is not even level. And we want to put in LVP flooring, and in order to do that, you really want to make sure you have a nice smooth surface before you put it in. It's going to be anywhere from $5,000 to over $10,000 to put that in. So you want to make sure that you have a smooth surface, put it in, and it will last you over a decade. And moving here up to the walls, there was no walls here whatsoever, and the closet here is new too, as well as the window. So we did everything in terms of putting insulation, drywall, mudding, texturizing, paint, as well as putting a closet here, just like the previous room, to make it into a legal bedroom, and as well as the egress window here. And moving on to this side, you can see that it looks really boxy, right? So what was here were a couple of different pipes. So sewer line, there was probably air duct also running here, and it was kind of going down here and then going up there. We tried to think about what to do. Do we really close down the wall here so it doesn't look so bossy, or do we open up a little more so the tenant has more space? And we decided to try to have as little boxes as possible, but also make it more functional. So this is kind of what we came up with. All right, after we finished the walls, we realized that there's no outlet, nor is there any air vent. So we definitely want to make it a livable space. What we're going to do is we're going to run the outlet that's there out to here. So we're going to create one here, and we're going to create one from that wall as well. And currently there's no air vent, and we know before putting the walls in, the air vent runs this way. So we're gonna hire a AC person here to come take a look, and if it's doable, we're gonna just cut a hole into the drywall and put a vent there. This room, with it being in the basement and a small room, it's probably gonna go for about $750. Okay, coming on to the other side of the basement, this is the bathroom, which is going to be shared among 3 tenants. It's currently demoed, nothing has been done to it, and just like the bathrooms upstairs, we're going to put in new flooring, new vanity, probably a new toilet as well, because there was some water leaks in this bathroom, which is kind of why I got that concession. So flooring were damaged, we're going to change that too. And the shower here is really tiny. Somewhat see. I decided to keep it this way because to make it into a bigger shower, it's gonna be close to $10,000. Here we are at the last bedroom in the basement. This is kind of like the other bedroom on the other side where it was exposed foundation wall. We had only tiny windows in here. So again, same thing, finishing the wall, adding that egress window over here. And all 3 windows cost me about $15,000. It was a huge investment, but it's worth it. And if you think about the return investment, each room is gonna be around $800. You make that money back within a year or 2. And this room is going to rent for about $800. All right, come this way. I'm gonna show you the garage, this nice patio area, as well as the backyard. So it's currently a mess. That's what it usually looks like if you're going through a rehab. Fun stuff. So I think the 2 owners before the previous owner finished this entire garage because he had a lot of stuff. He loved working in the garage. He had a motorcycle, and this actually works out perfect because I actually already have a tenant interested, and he said that he wants a master bedroom and he also wants to rent this entire space. So usually when you do a rent by the room strategy, you kind of want to rent out your garage spots to your tenant, usually going for about $50. But because this future tenant is going to take the entire garage, I'm renting it to him for $300. It's a win for me, it's also a win for him. Okay, this was at some point a little movie theater. You can see if you turn this way, it's a nice projector screen here where people watch movies. I'm probably just gonna keep it here. Whoever wants to use it can use it. And come this way to look at the backyard. Again, additional income. Let's look at this way. This shed was already here, and you can lock it up and actually rent it out to people who actually need more storage. Because they're only taking 1 room, they probably have other stuff with them. Here in Colorado, people love skiing, people love hiking, paddleboarding, all that stuff, and they probably need that additional space. So I'm going to offer these for maybe $50 to $100. Nothing crazy, but it's gonna really help people who need it, right? So I'm going to lock these up and offer it to anyone who needs it. And walking this way, there's another shed over there. So that's another $50 to $100 per month of income. Okay, and this backyard, it's not looking very good right now. I'm still debating on what to do. Landscaping is not cheap. So I think we're gonna see if tenants want something. There's a little fire pit there. Apparently people were using it before. Maybe if people want it, we can probably create a nice area with chairs and then offering that fire pit so people can have a nice area to hang out.
Excellent tour, and thank you so much for just welcoming me through this whole project. But I mean, with all these bedrooms, turning it from 5-bedroom to an 8-bedroom, I mean, there's a lot of questions in my mind. I mean, the most important question is, what's the potential revenue on this house?
The potential revenue, if we rent out every single room, rent out the garage and the sheds, it's gonna be very close to $8,000.
So those are some crazy numbers. As far as like almost $8,000 a month, I mean, I feel like with any other strategy within the Denver area or even Colorado, you're not getting those types of numbers, right? Is that why you went with the rent by the room strategy?
That's exactly why I did what I did. With all the regulations going on, especially for Airbnb, we're seeing tighter and tighter regulations. But in terms of rent by the room, Colorado, as of this year, actually opened it up. Before, there was a limit on how many unrelated people can live in the same property. But as of this year, that limitation completely went away. So you can put in as many tenants as you want into a property, but you're giving them a good living space, right?
That's awesome. And then looking at, let's say, the 8 total bedrooms here, what is your monthly expenses now? Like, what's your mortgage at this point in time?
So the PITI for this property is $3,800. And if you calculate vacancy, cap management, I'll be managing myself, but then I'm gonna hire cleaners, stuff like that. All the expenses come to $4,800 per month.
I mean, that's still a really good spread. I mean, 4,800. So you were saying that the PITI is about 3,800, right? And then you're adding another $1,000 per month for any sort of variable expenses. So even with that extra $1,000 per month that you're including, you got a really good spread of almost like $3,000 per month. That's insane. I mean, those are some great numbers, like on a per month basis, but that is not the grand plan with this home, right? I mean, you're implementing the BRRRR strategy, BRRRR, which remind the audience what it stands for, yeah?
So what BRRRR stands for is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat.
Okay, yeah. So that repeat part is where the big money happens, right? Where you rehab it, you improve on the property. I mean, now this property is going to be an 8-bedroom, 4-bath, right? So going from a 5-bedroom, 4-bath or a 5-3 or whatever it used to be, adding 3 more bedrooms just raises the comps and increases the value of the property. So with that, what's the projected like after repair value on this place?
So what's really cool about this property when I bought it is there's the exact same house that was sold about a month ago that sold for $700K. The only difference is it was more updated and it had actually 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. So I would say very comparable to this one. So with all the addition, making it newer, adding more bedrooms, I am expecting at least 700 to compare with that one. And I'm going to refinance in about 3 years just because of the kind of loan I took out. So I would be expecting about $750,000 for the after repair value.
Yeah, so that's including the appreciation that you're expecting over the course of 3-ish years.
Correct.
Yeah? Okay, yeah. And so with that, how much are you able to take out, assuming $750,000?
When I run it with the lender, I was told that about 100 to 130K is what I'm able to pull out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good amount of money as far as like being able to pull that out, like 100 to 130K, and then using that for your next investment property. That is awesome. So, I mean, that's the grand scheme of things, what the numbers look like and everything like that. As far as anyone who wants to repeat this strategy, do you have any words of wisdom for someone who wants to try to do what you're doing right now?
I would say come talk to us.
I mean, I'm sure there's way too much to talk about like in a 20-minute video, right? So again, like what Ann said, if there's any questions that you guys have on this stuff, because what Ann's doing right now, I mean, you're seeing it in person, right? I mean, or at least on video. So if you are just curious about this whole process, how Ann is doing it, how I'm house hacking, we're both investors and realtors in this area. So make sure you just hit me up. I mean, all my contact information is down below in the description, and I'll put her information on the description as well, as far as like texting her, calling her, as far as what her pain points were, what she would do over again, and things like that. I feel like that's a really good way to just get you started in real estate investing, yeah? So any parting words? What's the best way to have people contact you? What's your email, maybe your phone number, anything you feel comfortable bringing up to the world?
Well, with being realtor, we have to take phone calls. I personally hate phone calls unless you're my client, right? So I will leave all my contact information below. You can text me, call me, or follow me on social. I will be documenting everything I'm doing here on Instagram. So if you're interested in following on my journey, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back too.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Oh, by the way, guys, before you go, Ann wants to say one more thing about like a future video. Yeah.
So there will be a part 2. We're gonna take you on another tour once it's all done, and we're gonna talk about property management, talk about furnishing, all that good stuff. So stay tuned.
It's gonna be chock full of good information, guys. Really excited for it. Talk to you guys later.